Alright guys, so today's video is all about teaching you the most efficient way to shoot. I got a little friend to help me out this one.
Yo!
Let's do it! I also said little, is that okay? What's up guys, Andrew Murphy, and today Marco and I are going to tell you our top 8 tips to be the most efficient shooter you possibly can be. First, if you're new here, I upload videos every single Monday at 7 PM Australian Western Standard Time, all about photography and filmmaking, so if that's something you're into, then be sure to hit the subscribe button down here and turn on the bell to be notified every single time I release a new video.
Cool, so this came about because in September I've got a shoot coming up that I'm super pumped about because I get flown to Italy to do it, which is amazing. But it also means I feel like there's a lot of pressure on me and I don't want to screw it up. So, because I want to be invited back next year.
Yeah.
What I have to do is, over a 4-day period, there's going to be bartenders cycling from Florence to Rome, and I've got to shoot each day, put together a 30 to 60 second edit, and then at the end of it put together an after movie for the whole event. Cool, so tip 1 is obviously plan your shoot. So probably in my mind most important thing is have a brief agreed and discussed with the client. Now what I'm finding as well is a lot of my clients just say we want a video that does this, so you kind of have to come up with your own brief. But that's fine, come up with your own brief, make it really clear to them, and then agree on that at the very least, because there's no time to kind of revise it. Locations, types of shots that you need to meet the brief, and any other sort of actors or props that you might need, I guess.
And outputs are definitely, so know what the output's gonna be. So like I said, 36-second videos every day, and then a longer, how long's a long one?
3 minutes max, I said.
Yeah, cool. But knowing that ahead of time, so you know exactly what you can plan for, which goes to the next one, which is tip 2, and that is pre-approve music. So because there's gonna be like no time between Marco shooting, editing, and then getting the videos out, pretty much if he can get as much stuff pre-approved as possible, like the music is gonna be one of the big ones, and he can get that done well in advance. Like you can get that done like weeks in advance if you really want to. It just means that if you send it to a client, it's not like, oh, we actually don't like this song, and then you're like, oh, cool, now it's like midnight and I'm supposed to be sleeping, but I have to do a re-edit. So yeah, pre-approved music will save you a ton of time, which takes us to the next tip, which is tip 3, and that is pre-edit your music. So if you know you're gonna have to do 4 videos, maybe at like 8 tracks, and I'd pre-edit them to the 30 to 60 second, that window, so they're already ready to go. So then basically when you get back into the editing studio, all you have to do is grab the clips that you want, and then basically chuck them in, line them up to beats or whatever you wanna do, and then it's pretty much ready to go straight away.
Awesome. So tip 4, graphics and elements. So I always make sure I'm chatting with the client to see if they have any intro or outro slides that they want, any branding that they definitely need, or sponsors, anything that I can get my hands on beforehand, and knowing exactly where it's gonna be. I'll even chuck them in the timeline so that they're just ready to go to make it as quick as possible.
All right, so these next 4 tips are actually super practical. So do you want to, we'll just go shoot and then we can talk about it there. Okay, that's it. So tip number 5 is to label your footage while you're shooting. So this has probably been one of the biggest things that has like improved my shooting and the efficiency while I'm shooting. And that's basically while you're shooting, do something to label your footage. So say we do a shot and it's like I've got a really good, it's a really good take or something. I generally end with my hand over the lens when I press stop. And then essentially all I need to do is when I'm scrubbing through my footage, I just look for the shots that have my hand over the end, and straight away I know that's a good one. Another one you can do is after you finish recording is just do a quick double tap and record a tiny little snippet after the shot. And then essentially when you go into your editing software, you just look for those really, really, really small shots and you know that everything before that is a good shot. So that will definitely speed up your workflow.
Okay, so tip number 6 is auto ISO. This has been a massive time saver for me because I do a lot of run and gun shooting, and my exposure can from time to time be all over the place. So what I've found is a setting in my camera that allows me to set a minimum and a maximum with which I'm happy for the camera to float within, and that's saving me a bunch of time because 90% of my shots are coming out well exposed, and I'm only having to fix a small certain few.
Guys, tip number 7 is don't overshoot. So what you want to do with this is if you get a shot and you know you've got the shot, then there's no point shooting more of it. So if you nailed it and you don't really, maybe get like 1 or 2 more, but then be done with it. Go shoot other stuff. Be creative.
So tip number 8 has been a huge time saver for me, and that's editing on the fly, and that's literally while you're shooting, reviewing your footage as you go and deleting the stuff that you definitely know you're not going to use. You don't end up having to look through a whole bunch of junk in post. Okay, let's head back to the studio.
Right guys, and as a bonus for sticking around to the end, tip number 9 is to organize your upcoming shots while you're editing. So what I mean by this is that at the end of the event, Marco knows that he needs to produce a 2 to 3 minute long video. So while he's editing his short 30 to 60 second ones, he's gonna find clips that he really likes. And basically as he's editing, he can just quickly chuck those into a timeline. So essentially by the time he gets to his last day and he's finished his last edit, he might have, 60, 70, 80% of his shots already ready to go. And then his music will be ready to go as well because we've pre-planned that. And then he should be able to smash it. Mate, you should be able to smash out an edit in like at least 12 hours. So if that doesn't happen, then mate, you're not trying hard enough.
All these tutorial sucks.
Yeah. Just throwing you under the bus like there. Right guys, so that is our top 8 tips with a bonus one for shooting more efficiently, and it's gonna help Marco when he goes over to Italy and shoots this massive event. So what I'll do is I'll link the videos down below when they're available so you can check out just how he did on his event.
Oh God.
And a massive thanks to Marco for helping out on this one.
No worries, man, it was awesome.
And as always guys, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below of what your favorite bit was. And if you're not subscribed, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell to be notified every single time I release a new video. And as always guys, stay creative and we'll see you on the next one.
See ya.